Hello guys, welcome back to my another After Effects tutorial. In this After Effects tutorial, we are going to create this. Here you can see, I have imported all the files required for this project. You can download them from below, link in the description. Complete After Effects template is also available on my web store. You can check link in the description. Now let's see how to create this Saber logo reveal. Create a new composition. I will name it as logo reveal. Time duration 5 seconds, remaining everything will be same. Let's create a new solid layer. This will be our background layer. Now let's add the logo. Here you can scale your logo if needed. I will scale my logo. Perfect. Now let's pre-compose it, name it as logo. Select Move All Attribute into New Composition. Perfect. Now let's add the reflection media file to the timeline. Scale it to 50%. For reflection, in Effects and Preset, search for Motion Tile, add it to the reflection media. For tile, increase output width and height as shown. Select Mirror Edge. Now at start of the timeline, create keyframe for tile center. Now at 1 second and 15 frames. Slightly adjust tile center as shown. Now at end of the timeline, adjust the tile center as shown. Press U to view keyframes. For end keyframe, change keyframe assistant to easy ease. Now adjust the speed graph as shown. Now in Effects and Preset, search for Gaussian Blur. Add it to the reflection. Set blurriness to 100. Now in Effects and Preset, search for Directional Blur. Add it to reflection. Set direction to 90 degree. Set blur length to 90. Now pre-compose this reflection layer. Name it as reflection. Place it below logo. For reflection, change track matte to alpha matte logo. For reflection, in Effects and Preset, search for CC Blobble Eyes. Add it to reflection. For blurriness, change blob layer to logo. Property to alpha. Set softness to 7. Set cutaway to 10. Now let's add the logo composition to timeline. Change mode to soft light. Now select both logo and reflection composition, pre-compose them. Name it as glossy logo. Now press T to bring up opacity. Now at 2 second, create keyframe for opacity. Now at start, set opacity to 0%. Now place this composition at 1 second. Now add particle 1 and 2 media file to the timeline. Now let's add the glossy logo composition to the timeline. Now let's hide the particles media file. For glossy logo, in Effects and Preset, search for Set Matte, add it to glossy logo composition. For matte, change layer to Particles 1, set Use Matte to Luminance. Here you can see the particle effect. Now again add set matte. Here we will change matte layer to second particles layer, matte hues to luminance. Now in effects and preset, search for CC Pixel Poly. Add it to the glossy logo. For particles, set gravity to 0. Now at 1 second and 2 frames. Create keyframe for force, set it to 2. Now move 3 frames forward. Set force to 30. Now set spinning to 130 degrees. Set force center to -60. Direction randomness to 50. Speed of randomness to 100. Grid spacing to 10. Now in effects and preset, search for fill. Add it. For fill here you can set the color for your particles, set it according to your logo. Now in effects and preset, search for glow. Add it to the glossy logo. Now again add glow effect. Now add logo composition to the timeline. For this logo, in layer, select auto trace. This will create mask for our logo. Press U to view keyframes. We will remove this keyframes. Perfect. Now for this logo, go to Effects. From Video Copilot, select Saber. If you can't see this Saber, you need to install Saber plugin. Saber link is provided in the description. For Saber, in Customize Core, select Core Type to Layer Mask. Now let's set preset to narrow. Now here we will create 2 duplicate of this logo composition. Let's hide the duplicate logo compositions. For below logo composition, let's animate the Saber effect. Set glow intensity to 100%. Set glow speed to 0.18. Now at start of the timeline, create keyframe for start size, set start size to 0. Now at 1 second, set start size to 45%. Now at 3 seconds. Create keyframe for start offset. Now at start. Set start offset to 100%. Now set end size to 50%. Now at 1 second. Create keyframe for end offset, set end offset to 50%. Now at start. Set end offset to 0. Now at 3 seconds. Set end offset to 0. Now at start, create keyframe for mask evolution. Now at 3 seconds. Set evolution to 1 rotation and 180 degrees. Now press U to view keyframes. Now select keyframe for evolution. Change keyframe assistant to easy ease. Now adjust the speed graph as shown. Now select start size keyframes. Change keyframe assistant to easy ease. Now adjust the speed graph as shown. Now select start offset keyframes. Change keyframe assistant to easy ease. Now adjust the speed graph as shown. Now select end offset keyframes. Change keyframe assistant to easy ease. Now adjust the speed graph as shown. Perfect. Now in Effects and Preset, search for CC Vector Blur. Add it to the logo composition. For blur, set type to Direction Center. Set amount to 10. Now again create duplicate of blur. Set type to Perpendicular. Set amount to 12. Now in Effects and Preset, search for Simple Choker. Add it to the logo composition. For choker, set choke matte to 1.20. Now in Effects and Preset, search for glow. Add it to the logo composition. For logo, set glow radius to 67. Now for logo, set mode to add. For Saber, in render setting, set composite to transparent. Perfect. Now let's enable the second logo composition. For Saber, let's change the color to white. Change glow intensity to 30%. Set glow speed to 0.18. Now at near about 2 seconds. Create keyframe for start size, set it to 50%. Now at start, set start size to 0. Now at 2 seconds. Create keyframe for start offset. Now at 4 seconds. Set start offset to 50%. Now at 2 seconds. Create keyframe for end size. Set end size to 50%. Now at start, set end size to 0. Now at 4 seconds. Set end size to 0. Now at 4 seconds, create keyframe for end offset, set end offset to 50%. Now at start, set end offset to 0. Now at start of the timeline, create keyframe for mask evolution. Now at 4 seconds. Set mask evolution to 2. Now for logo, press U to bring up keyframes. Now select start size keyframes. Change keyframe assistant to easy ease. Now adjust the speed graph as shown. Now select end size keyframes. Change keyframe assistant to easy ease. Now adjust the speed graph as shown. Now select end offset keyframes. Change keyframe assistant to easy ease. Perfect. Now for logo composition. Add glow effect. For glow, set glow radius to 67. Now in Effects and Preset, search for Direction Blur. Add it to the logo composition. Now set direction to 90 degree. Set blur length to 30. In Saber, set render composite to transparent. Now set mode to add. Now let's place this composition at 12 frames. Now let's animate the third logo composition. Let's enable it. Let's change the Saber color. Now set glow intensity to 105%. Now at start of the timeline, create keyframe for core size, set it to 0. Now at 12 frames, set core size to 2. Now at 12 frames, create keyframe for start size. Now at 1 second, set start size to 80%. Now at 3 second, create keyframe for start offset. Now at 2 seconds, set start offset to 50%. Now at 1 second. Set start offset to 100%. Now at start. Set start offset to 60%. Now at 3 second. Create keyframe for end offset, set end offset to 0. Now at 2 second. Set end offset to 10%. Now at 1 second. Set end offset to 20%. Now at start, set end offset to 85%. Now let's set end size to 50%. Now change mode to add. Set end size to 30. In render, set render setting to transparent. Now let's place this composition at 1 second. Now let's change compositions to 3D. Now let's create a new camera. Now create null object. Change null to 3D. Parent camera to null object. For null, press P to bring up position. Now at end, create keyframe for position. Now at 1 second and 12 frames. Slightly adjust the Z position as shown. Now at start. Adjust the position as shown. Now let's create a new adjustment layer. Now in Effects and Preset, search for Sharpen. Add it to the adjustment layer. For Sharpen, set amount to 200. Now in Effects and Preset, search for Noise. Add it to the adjustment layer. For Noise, set amount to 10%. Now in Effects and Preset, search for Venetian blinds, add it to the adjustment layer. Set transition competition to 15%. Set direction to 90 degree. Set width to 3. Now at 3 seconds. Create keyframe for feather. Now at 4 seconds, change feather to 4. Now let's again create new adjustment layer. Now in Effects and Preset, search for Vibrance, add it to the adjustment layer. Now let's adjust the amount of vibrance and saturation. Perfect. Now let's see the complete preview. Perfect. Here our stylish Saber logo reveal is created. Thank you guys for watching this tutorial. See you next week with another awesome tutorial.